Okay, guys, let's start. Please take up your seat.
Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for coming, especially taking into account that this is 6:30 and it is time to go to bar. I promise to be really short and, usually I do engineering talks, engineering, programming, architecture, things like that. But today I decided to spend this half of the hour doing entertainment talk. So my talk is all about the Global Map 2.0. Global Map, this nice picture of it. Global Map is a browser-based extension to the massively multiplayer World of Tanks game. This is all about the strategical, tactical decisions, and not in a single battle, but on the global map when you fight for the land. So this is browser-based thing, so you have a world map as your gameplay field, and you fight for the territory. Global map was first released a year after the initial World of Tanks release, and its main target, its main aim was to entertain the people, the players who have already mastered the game, I mean World of Tanks. They mastered all the vehicles that we had in World of Tanks at the time, and they wanted to something more to enjoy in the game, and we provided them such an ability. And this is a global map. Right in February of 2011, it looked like this. The territory divided into provinces, and you fight with your clan for land domination. These green things in the bottom is the chips that you move when you play the board game. So global map initially was designed with the idea of board games in mind. So you move your chips, you attack, or you do some exploration, and you resolve the conflicts in World of Tanks battles. Like if you have moved your 10 of your chips under the territory, and you'll have a battle with their defender and current owner of that territory in World of Tanks. At the specified time, like 7 p.m., you log into your client just to defend the land from the offender who tries to take it from you. That really excited people and players who are masters in World of Tanks, and someone was challenging their mastery. Very exciting, and he had a huge success. Huge success. Over 1,500 people played the global map in the first day of its release, and they fought 1,200 battles on the very first day, everything on the very first day. That, as I said, provided the high-level content for players that have already mastered the game to the time. And, that was very different and new and fresh experience for them, so they enjoyed it very much. Due to its low capacity, the global map became a highly competitive battle space. And the low capacity of global map was defined by two main factors. One was all the provinces were defined by hand. They just had to, because we didn't have any technology or tooling behind that. I mean, comprehensive tooling. So every single province was literally drawn by hand. You just cannot, by hand, manually calculate all the economics and economical balance of the game. You cannot define all the strategic path in such an environment. So the low capacity of global map 1.0 was the by design. But still, in that state, global map was successfully operated for several years. We ran several events, campaigns, where over the period of time, players were given a setting and the task to complete, quest to complete, like take over 5 different provinces over a week. And the setting might look like, okay, there was special forces invited into the event, so you have to defend your country and so on. So different settings, different events with the rewards by the end of the event. World of Tanks player obviously has its lifetime. For players that play clans and global map have 4 times longer lifetime. This is based on the calculation by the moment, not by the moment of the release of global map 1.0, but now 4 times longer. They still enjoy the game, despite they have probably all the possible vehicles in that. And this is the competitive place for them to show their mastery. Remember Dennis' talk, what motivates people? Autonomy, mastery. So that's all about mastery. Okay, then. Since we do have that success, and we actually see that the concept, the idea behind that didn't yet reach its boundaries, so how do we scale that? How do we scale our success with global map? First of all, we had to scale the land. Scaling the land, reminder, we define all the provinces by hand at the moment of operation of global map 1.0, and we calculate and define economics and maps, whatever, for every single province by hand, manually. So we have to scale that. We took the open geographic data from the projects like OpenStreetMap. OpenStreetMap is a map of the world created by people like you and free to use under an open license. That's what is written in openstreetmap.org, and that data helped a lot. We used that, and based on that, we created a set of instruments which were used to define the geometry of our provinces, to fit them together in the way we wanted it to, which is suitable for game design. And so we were basically creators of the world. And this is actual photo of the writing in one of our rooms. This is the usual working day of the Dorothy, which is our lead geographical map person at the time. So what did Dorothy do in a day? He just rounded up the continents, to remove the countries from the map, and removed the short rivers, and created these worms. It's like, well, words created would normally do. During the creation of the global map geography, we faced several things that impact actually our approach to that. Because Wargaming and World of Tanks is a global company and a global game, we have to take into account things like the conflicts of a territory. For example, Falkland Islands. And that there's ongoing conflict on that territory between the Argentina and Great Britain. And right now, there are over 100 of such conflicts ongoing. So we just had to remove the country boundaries from our map. There was just one of examples that we had to deal with, not counting the technical things or just, well, environment, reality we live into. Several things several bugs that we actually had in our Jira. Like I picked several from related to the territory. We are in St. Petersburg, so one of the bugs was Neva River no longer goes into the Gulf of Finland. That happened just because our designers wanted us to make rivers a little bit brighter in color, and the brightness of the color was related to the actual depth of the land geography. So we programmatically scaled it a little bit, but apparently that resulted into that the very small, after all, Neva River no longer goes into the Gulf of Finland because of that modification. Okay. If you might, okay, the sea around the British Isles is not that deep. So with the algorithm of making the color brighter, dependent with the depth of the sea and the pond, resulted in that British Isles look a little bit pale compared to the ocean. So the demand from our designers was make senior British Isles deeper. Okay, we are world creators after all. And constantly our designers were demanding to make water a more bluish because they was okay. An example: designer comes to Dorothy and asks him, make seas a water more bluish, put more blue in it. Dorothy says, okay. The designer goes out of the room. Dorothy waits 10 minutes and resolves the task, saying, okay, I made it bluish. Designer looks at him, much better. It is much better right now. So that happened several times. And Dorothy started to behave like that because he already several times changed the color back and forth. So he just, okay, I've done that, check it out. Oh, much better. And the final example of the funny bugs regarding the geography was Finland is too wet. Because of a lot of rivers, swarms, and lakes in that, and the depth of color depending on the water. So the designers realized that Finland looks a little bit too pale, well, too wet. Just make it a little bit less wet. We made that. So after all, we had the tooling, the nice-looking map, suitable for creating our provinces in the shape we wanted to, and suitable for a game, nice-looking geography, and custom nice-looking geography, basically. I'm sorry. We used and improved a lot of tools from the SOC OpenStreetMap tool set, and we opened up these tools and put our extensions to the GitHub so everyone could benefit from it. After all, open source projects, well, this is the principle. So this is the link to our GitHub. Please find there our instruments for creating the Voronoi shapes, for checking OpenStreetMap map data for errors, mistakes, and misfits, and also a bunch of new localized names for territories. So we scaled the land. We now wanted to scale the war on it. We needed because we were afraid of scaling the land too much because having small, low-capacity global map resulted in the fact that the land the mode was highly competitive, and you actually have to be master in a game in order to compete that mode, the game. And our players, our clans, had defined their aim of the clan existence in order to have to conquer at least one piece of territory on global map. And that was the idea that drive them. So they reached their target. They make a ton of screenshots of the global map with their clan on it and shared everywhere. So we wanted to keep the level of competition on global map. At the same time, we wanted to scale it to, explode in the audience of World of Tanks. We scaled the land and we started to scale the war. Global map gameplay and game design was changed significantly from the global map 1.2 and in transition to global map 2.0. We established a link with the strongholds, which is another mechanics in World of Tanks, sort of farm and fight things. So in order to fight on a global map, you have to have the established stronghold, added variety on game mechanics, added the variety on the events and possibilities, and we established the ongoing seasonal model on global map. So we also solved several performance issues of global map 1.0, but I won't stop on that because I have only 10 minutes left at all. So flexibility in game mechanics, diversification. By the way, we have Asian Typhoon event on global map going right now. Check it out if you're interested. So we also needed to scale the team because initial release of global map 1.0 was created with extremely small team. And the competition and competitive gaming in wargaming games had a strategic fit into the company's strategy. So we wanted more effort to put into the competitive things, aspects of the game, as global map, clans, strongholds, whatever else mods, you name it. So we passed a lot of different transformation and lessons learned from that type of collaboration, that type of operational structure, that thing. After all, long story short, we ended up to building the teams around the people and the functional blocks. Something similar to what Danny was talking about. Pretty similar as a core concept, but different in the implementation. This is the picture that I've drawn just before the release. It doesn't fit presentation very much, but I just lost the sources. This is how's QA, how's dev, how's game design, PM, art, whatever, with changed key words for these. So from small team, we built a good, large, collaborative team. So these are funny. If you do remember Game of Thrones original things, so we do so sounds funny, really funny. House dev is release is coming. So house art, watch me painting, or well, these are funny, really. So global map 2.0, how it looks like. This is the art thing for global map 2.0, and this is the actual screenshot that I made a couple days ago with the ongoing Asian typhoon. This is another screenshot with their more close view to the actual division. So if you notice, this is the part of Asia, obviously, and we can create these fronts and these provinces all over the world, and we can create more than 30,000 of that, compared to what we have on the global map 1.0, 1,200 at most, starting with the 800. I will give you a short overview of the 5 years of global map, because we have celebrated 5 years a couple months ago. So we've created some calculations, some numbers. They're interesting. 1,500 players first day, I mentioned that. More interesting that 9,000, 9,500 are still enjoying World of Tanks 5 years after. This is long. 56,000 clans for on global map. They have enlisted almost 3 million players on global map. 10 million battles were conducted on global map. 40 million medals awarded. People fight for a reason. The mastery is one of the reasons, but they wanted the rewards. And 40 million medals and a large amount of tanks were the rewards for their effort. The biggest sum spent by two teams in one battle, where was the equivalent of the 3 million credits, which is the in-game currency, the soft currency in the game, 3 million credits in one battle. So that were the numbers. Technology, I have only one slide for technology. This is nothing special here. Nginx, like for every web-based project, Python as a programming language, SQL Alchemy is the ORM, PostgreSQL as a database, and RabbitMQ is a message queue. That probably it. The fact that I didn't make it to make the technical presentation today doesn't mean that I cannot answer technical questions today or tomorrow, whatever time you prefer. So thank you.
Okay, guys, let's move to the questions tape. So, does anybody have any questions? Please don't be shy.
Спасибо за презентацию. Хотел спросить, на начальном этапе, когда создавалась масштабная карта, была задумка о том, чтобы совместить все проекты варгейминга на этой карте, чтобы не только танки участвовали в боях, но и остальные виды техники. Сейчас есть какие-то работы, или эта идея забыта?
So the question is that from the initial game design view, the future of global map would be the combination of world tanks, warships, warplanes, all our war games, and is that idea is left behind or still ongoing? The answer is we've made a lot of things to be prepared to combine several things on our global map. That doesn't mean that we especially will have the cross gameplay in case we do that. I mean, ships fighting tanks or planes fighting tanks. No, that probably won't happen. But we are ready to accommodate warships, warplanes into our gameplay. We've made several preparations to create the global map for warships, and it is waiting for its time. When it's time, we will continue on that. So the idea is not left behind and not forgotten, and we are ready from both technological and game design perspective to have the global map both for World of Tanks and World of Warships. Did I answer that? Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Over there. Oh, okay.
Спасибо за доклад. Хотел спросить, глобальная карта, она глобальная для всех регионов или на каждом регионе своя? И еще один вопрос. Помимо каких-то спорных территорий, были ли какие-то культурные особенности по внедрению этого функционала на разных... Китай, например, интересует.
Yeah. Okay, the question is global map global? I mean, the single global map to rule them all, or it is separated? And the second question is, where are there the cultural influences for the global map? The answer for the first question is yes or no. No, it's not global, and yes, it is global. No, it's not global, not because of the technology of global map, but the fact that it has to be tied to the regional division of World of Tanks currently, because you just cannot establish a battle between the World of Tanks player in CIS and North America. And the reason why it's still global, because there are plans to involve mechanisms like roaming to create the additional things, additional gameplay, I mean cross-region. These are still ideas, but that creates the global map. The second question, yes, definitely. But for example, Korea region didn't want to North Korea to be existed on global map, so there's no North Korea. There's sea there, no land at all. One of the answers, yes. And the first thing that came up when we created a global map and sent it for review to our regional offices was oh no, that region should belong to that country, or no, that to that country. So we even had to redefine the provinces because, say, in China, they could imaginary draw borders on the provinces. So our provinces currently are completely free form. They're built around the cities, big or small or smaller or even that small. But as a center, then the expansion from that point, like the algorithm of creating the Voronoi shapes, and then distorted to look like provinces. That results in that we have the free-form provinces. They look like the administrative division, and they are more or less comply to the requirements of having several information icons fit into that. So that's, I think I answered that, right? So please.
So if we came up with, say, some kind of a system to associate tanks clans with warships clans,
Yeah.
would it be possible to then have a global map where you've got, like you said, ships only fight ships, tanks only fight tanks, but to have one really unified global map between the two games?
Sure. I think I wouldn't disclose anything new because it was already announced, but the plan was to accommodate the warships into existing World Tanks global map, so land in the dominion of tanks and the sea for warships. And additionally, after some development, I mean the game design mostly, technologically we are ready, there could be small correlation of gameplay, like if you hold that gulf, you can move your tanks over it. If you, like that, if you, for example, in order to take that province, that port province, you have to attack that from the sea first, because it has a stronghold in it, something like that. It doesn't mean that the tanks and ships in one battle in the client, but that's still correlations. So if we have the friends, clans from warships and world tanks working together for the victory on global map, that's possible. That was the idea, and it is still being considered as the way to go.
Okay, one last question.
Все, кто играли на глобальной карте 1.0, знают, что там правительство приносит золото, вот на 2.0 еще там есть влияние, которое тратится. И вот на одна из проблем карты 1.0 была в том, что провинции настраивались вручную, что долго, неинтересно и так далее. А как с настройкой вот не разбиением на провинции, это понятно, вот, про это и рассказывали, а с настройкой самих провинций, что это приносит столько-то, это столько-то, и это как-то автоматизировано. Понятно, что общий объем, это зависит от целей там, компании, еще чего-то, а вот по провинциям руками или как-то автоматично.
Thank you for the question. I completely forgot that thing, and it is very interesting. The question is, on the global map 2.0, the economics of the map and the specific province, is that still managed manually or calculated somehow? And the answer is yes, and there are a lot of parameters considered for the automatic distribution of the, say, income and parameters, like the population, real population in the territory, like the income, I mean monetary income of the territory. The bigger cities would be having more valuable on global map. The number of parameters were considered. These are all open data. So we just considered that while creating the distribution of income. So if you want to fight for Paris, that would be a hard battle because the master clan probably holding it because for its higher income. And moreover, not just the economics, but the maps, initial World of Tanks map were assigned to the territory based on the weather in that territory. So if that's a desert, you probably would play El Halov here. But there were problems with their automatic maps assigning because the most territory of the Europe had Malinovka assigned to it. But yeah, the final adjustments were made manually, but the general algorithm for distribution of the income, of the maps, whatever else, are automatic, yes. So, thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thank you.